Hi, my name is Shaneida Monique, and welcome. So today I'm going to discuss why money matters to women and why it should matter. Alright, let me stop. It's not going to be that type of video, okay? But this is to inform, more so to inform men on why it's important for a woman. All right, so let me just start by where all this came from. Okay, I remember seeing a meme, and in the meme it says a woman that pays over $1,800 in bills is not concerned with no man what you do in tax. You know, and from seeing that meme, you know what I'm saying, I know there was a lot of women that was like, tell him girl, tell him. Like I started to see little things about, you know, men saying, oh, well, you know, woman, she only wants this, or she only wants money, and you know what I'm saying, I'm not willing to spend no money on her, do this, So I figured, let me come and do a video to kind of shed a little light. Now, be sure, if you don't agree with what I'm about to say, cool. Watch it to the end to get all the little nuggets before you know, start to come for me. All right, so if you don't agree, leave me in the comments, tell me what you don't agree about. And if you do agree, then like this video, share, make sure that you subscribe, okay? First, number one, let's do a disclaimer. These are going to be my thoughts, my opinions. Second, this video is only pertaining to men and women who are dating, looking for marriage, long-term relationships. This does not apply to you if you was out here doing your little thing, okay? This does not apply to you. Keep on doing you, but you know what I'm saying, by all means, watch my video to the end now, okay? I'm just saying. And another reason why I wanted to do this video is because I feel like maybe women are having a hard time articulating why money matters. Like, you know, like they just be out here like, I don't want no broke dude. I'm not dealing with that. You better come with this. You better come with that. But just like you're not really saying nothing. And last disclaimer is that this does not apply to gold diggers, narcissists, or other toxic people. Okay, this is just for the old regular everyday people like myself who look at finances as being important, especially when it comes to long-term relationships leading up to marriage. Money is important. No matter how you cut the, how you cut the dough, whatever, money is important, okay? You wanna know a secret? You wanna know how you can tell how much money a person makes without being rude and asking them? Because, you know what I'm saying, you know, nowadays we can't be like, oh, how much money you make? That's rude. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tidbit on how you can tell how much money a person makes. You look at what they're paying for. You look at how much money they're actually paying for the items that they have. That's going to be your rent or mortgage, right? Your car note, if you have a car, insurance, what kind of car you got, and then you can tell too, because you can also tell even if they got a car, if the car is leased, if they own the car and they're not paying a car note at all, right? And this is what you're going to do, right? You totaled up, you know, everything that they're paying for, or just did an estimate, multiply that by 3, right? Most likely that's going to be a rough estimate of their actual income. All right. Now here's the thing, and this is where we're going to do the comparison to men and women. All right. So you have a woman who is paying her rent, she's paying her car off, or paying her mortgage, car note, whatever. And you know what I'm saying? And let's say, you know, going back to the meme, so let's say her bills equal out to $1,800 a month, right? So her bills equal out to $1,800 a month. That's not going to include just her freaking woman maintenance now. Because you know what I'm saying? Now all the chicks want to gotta have their hair done, their nails done, you know, makeup. Makeup alone is mad expensive, okay? It's mad expensive. All right, for a makeup palette, man, that's a pair of Jordans right there on her face. multiply that by 3, run you in the 60s, 60s, low 70s or whatever. But we won't do an estimated math, okay? I'm not, get a calculator if that's what you want to do. All right. So now, roughly, let's say roughly she's making about 60,000 or so a year. Granted. Now let's go over to her partner, the man, right? And let's say that you're doing the same thing. Let's say that, instead of paying a rent or whatever, you pay a mortgage. Your mortgage is $1,800 a month. And you tax in your utilities, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're not spending all that money on no hair, no nails or whatever, but you like chilling. You like going on dates. You got to budget that into your your chill budget or whatever, right? So now we already compared them, and now we put them together in a relationship or a marriage, right? So let's say each person is bringing 60,000 of their income into this marriage, right? Now, initially, you wasn't really worried about it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? She got it or whatever. Like, I'm cool. Or let's just say you make more than 60. Let's say you make 80. Maybe you're making 6 figures. Maybe you are now making, over $100,000, which is great, right? But, and here's just to add on, if they have a child, you're gonna minus $10,000 for each child. So if they're making $50,000, they got 2 kids, minus $20,000, and that's gonna be their income. I feel like for a man, once you reach a certain amount of money that you're actually making, you're not that concerned with how much money a woman is making. Like, especially if you're a man and you're making, over $100,000, over, 6, 7 figures. You're not really concerned with how much money a woman is making. So I find that men that are beneath the 6 figures, men that are usually beneath the maybe 80,000 mark, or even lower than that, tend to put a little bit more emphasis on how much money a woman is making, and what I'm saying, and like they like more so thinking like, nah, like, come on, like she could take me on a date, she could take me out, what I'm saying, which is, what I'm saying, that's what you into, boo, do you all day, what I'm saying. There's women out here willing to pay all that for you, baby.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
You put these couples together, right? And so let's say now she's making 60,000, he's making 60,000. They come together, they combine their income, and now what happens is that she gets pregnant. You wanted a family, you wanted to have a baby or whatever, but now what happens is that sometimes you have women who are high risk, who have high risk pregnancies, and they are not able to work at certain periods of their pregnancy, and and they can't work anymore. So now let's say at 5 months she's high risk, and now she can't work after 5 months up until the baby is born, whatever the case is, right? As a man, a husband, that is now your financial responsibility. That is now your complete financial, I don't want to say burden, but that's all you, boo. That's all you. That means that her $60,000, especially if you guys didn't budget out it, correctly or whatever the case is, but still, that $60,000 that she was getting, toss that, bro. Toss that. That doesn't even matter anymore. The only thing that counts when it comes to your income and your family is what you making, especially if she's at home caring for a child. Now, let's say this is, 6 weeks in, and she is, she gave birth or whatever. People don't put enough, emphasis on how difficult it is for a woman to go back to work after, after the 6 weeks marks. Me personally, I don't think that it's enough time for a woman to be home with her baby. I don't think 6 weeks is enough time. I think that it should definitely be longer than that. I think that 6 weeks is like a freaking joke. 6 weeks, you just making sure your butt is healed. That's crazy. Okay. And then you got to think too, 6 weeks, your baby's only 6 weeks old, and they're still getting up at night. They're still getting fed. They still need to be fed like every 4 hours. It's crazy. But as a man, you're not actually going to realize that or see that until, your wife has a baby and you're at home in the house actually seeing it. Now, you have a lot of dudes out here that they they have the babies, then they make the babies, and they're not in the household. And if you're a man and you're not in the household, like from the very beginning, dealing with the pregnancy, the birth, the, getting up every 2 hours feeding, every 4 hours feeding, I'm gonna need you to sit down all the way. Okay? All right, because a lot of times you're not thinking about what a woman goes through, and what she actually has to sacrifice in order to have a family and everything. And that's why you see certain women, how they opt out of having children early on and more so focus in their careers. And by the time they hit like 30 or so, they're a lot more financially stable. That's just one reason why, looking at it in long-term perspective, why money should matter, especially to a woman. Because now, dudes, I'm gonna need y'all to flip over and put yourselves in a woman's shoes, and think to yourself that when she gets with a man and she wants to have a family, she wants to have a baby or whatever, like, she needs to make sure that you as a man, you are financially stable in order to take care of the household. And you know what, and sometimes unfortunately, some men aren't equipped to deal with it. They just can't deal with the financial strain and the emotional strain of being in the household, and it's just easier for them to leave. Now, you're a man, you making about 30,000-40,000, right? And you're like, yo, I don't understand what these chicks want money, what these chicks want is for me to like, that's really not it, papi. That's really not it, right? If you're making $20,000, $30,000 a year, $40,000, or you're not making anything, okay, that is a red flag to her that you can't be trusted financially. That you would rather spend your money on frivolous things than to basically better yourself. Because I feel like if you're a dude and you're making, like, let's say you're not making no money, or you're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, right? But you know what I'm saying, let's say you're a good dude. Let's say you got, you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, like, you might be a nice guy, and you really don't have your own because you're not financially stable, right? We're gonna break it down why your pool when it comes to women is going to be a little bit lower, right? When you get with a woman that is making more money than you, or has a vision to make more money than you, are you comfortable with giving her the ring? Are you willing to let her help you financially and show you how you can be making more money? Is that something that you're willing to do when you get with this woman, or whoever? All right? Because I think that a lot of men, you guys are sometimes you guys aren't interested in what a woman can contribute to you financially, other than financially. All right? Like, just like, kind of like when you get with friends, or you get with other people, that they see something in you, they see the growth potential in you, or whatever. The same thing happens when you are a man and you get with a woman. And matter of fact, I'm not even saying woman, but when you get with a good woman, that has vision, that has, and she sees that for you, and she could help make things happen for you. Are you willing to be a part of that team? Are you willing to grow with her? Are you willing to maximize your finances with her? Now, here's another thing. You cannot be mad at a woman that is making twice, 3 times, 4 times more than you, and she does not want to date you because your income is low. You cannot be mad at her. Because if she's able to, do what she has to do, buckle down, get things done, she wants to see that same initiative probably in you. She wants to see that you have a drive to achieve something. And I think that a lot of men, sometimes y'all go in y'all front like y'all making all this money or whatever, and you only making money to impress other women. You only making money to impress dudes that don't matter. Like, so you have to really look at yourself and really evaluate yourself, and to see able to handle a woman actually telling you how you can make more money, how you can actually, be successful in whatever your vision is. Another question you have to ask yourself when, when you're dealing with a woman or whatever, and you're not of a, certain financial means, is, are you able to be faithful to her and to trust her as you build your wealth together? Or is the fact that she makes a certain amount of money, is it a deterrent for you? Like, if she's making, let's say she's the one bringing in 6 figures or whatever, and now she's trying to help you build your wealth. Okay, can you trust her and trust her knowledge, trust her experience? Or maybe you making 20 and shorty only making 30. But she got a vision for where that other 10 gonna come from. Do you trust her enough to help you get that far? Or do you say, no, I don't need your help, I'm gonna do it myself or whatever? Because if that's your attitude, then it's like, okay, cool. But don't be mad when you see a girl and she's not interested because you're not making a certain amount of money or whatever, and she is. Okay. All right. And then the next one is going to be a question that you got to ask, is can you be trusted once you get past the broke period in your life? So, going back to money matters, what I see a lot is that whenever a woman of a financial means get with a man that doesn't, example would be like, you look at Wendy Williams, right? So Wendy Williams' ex-husband, I don't know if they still married or whatever, but anyway, Wendy Williams' husband, what's his name? I think his name was Kenny somebody or whatever, right? He was Wendy Williams' manager, right? She's doing the radio, she's doing the TV show, whatever. Now he is the manager, like he's brokering the deals, but ultimately she's the talent. She's the breadwinner, right? Now, I'm sure that at some point in time they might have, when they got together, when they married, she wasn't making as much money as she is now, and that's fine, right? But was she able to trust him as their finances grew? Or when their finances grew, his ego grew? Like, sure, there's more money coming into the household collectively together, but he couldn't be trusted at all. And when you look at why money matters, you really ultimately should be looking at the person's character as well. Like, are they a person that can be trusted if they get in a certain position and make a certain amount of money or whatever? Dude right here is making $30,000, right? He get with me, I see his vision, I encourage him. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's run this race together. And now all of a sudden, he bringing home, he now jumped to making 250, right? So he went from making a whopping 30 to now 250. But is his character still the same? Did his ego inflate like his bank account did? That's why money be mattering. Because it's like y'all dudes be getting money and then y'all go off the deep end. Women kind of have it built in them that when they get money, they just be buying more bags and clothes. Women want money for security. Women want money to, for their children to be okay, so that their household is good or whatever. And ultimately, for a man, that's what you should want too. You should want to obtain money and to have it so that your house is financially secured, especially when it comes to like your kids and stuff like that. And you know what? Another example, when a woman of a higher financial means get with a dude that isn't or whatever, which prime example is Kris Jenner. Now this lady got money on top of money on top of money. So any man that gets with Kris Jenner enjoys the fruits of her labor, but at the end of the day, Kris Jenner is a woman of means, and if she had a vision for these men that she were dating or whatever, would they listen to her? Would they be interested in how they could obtain their own wealth? Would they be comfortable to let her tell them how they could increase their finances? Would they be comfortable with that? I don't know. I don't think so, because even her son Rob, he don't listen. I don't. Yeah. So I don't know. And I could get into the psychological barriers that a man and woman would have to face if a woman was making substantially more than her partner. But we're not getting into that right now. That's not what we're talking about. All right, well, that's going to be it. I hope this was informative. And, and if it wasn't, or, I need to elaborate on something, then leave me a comment, let me know, and I will chat with you soon. Thank you. Bye.